So we see a phase switch change right now, and we go from the accumulation phase, which is over right now. There's no more steady growth, easy buying, etc. No, we go to the bull market. So there will be face melting FOMO, extreme price pumps. We have a lot of things going on. Narrative is ETF at the moment, of course. There might be in the rest of the year in 2025 a sovereign fund and nation state adoption. Who knows what's next? It will be very surprising. It will be extreme.
On February 27th, after years of defending the model, popular Bitcoin analyst PlanB took to his Twitter account to celebrate the return of his stock-to-flow model. The post reads, 55K. Stock to flow is back like clockwork. Now let's break stock to flow model to the upside. The authenticity of PlanB's stock to flow model has been repeatedly questioned over the past 2 years since Bitcoin failed to hit the analyst's price prediction of $100,000 to $150,000 in 2021. Many Bitcoin investors believed the model had been invalidated, but with Bitcoin now close to its all-time price again, PlanB might just have the biggest case of "I told you so" for his critics. In another post, the pseudonymous analyst announced that the easy accumulation phase for Bitcoin is over, and the next 10 months will be largely characterized by scary, face-melting FOMO. His post reads, "Red dot. The accumulation phase has ended. No more easy buying opportunities in orderly and slowly increasing markets. The bull market has started. If history is any guide, we will see approximately 10 months of face-melting FOMO, extreme price pumps combined with multiple minus 30% drops. Enjoy." In a recent video posted on his YouTube channel, PlanB goes into a more in-depth analysis, fully outlining his predictions for the leading cryptocurrency in 2024 and 2025. As we bring you clips from PlanB's video, please take a little time to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. Also, ensure you watch to the end so you don't miss clips from Michael Saylor's most bullish fireside chat ever. The MicroStrategy executive chairman is predicting an unstoppable 10-year gold rush phase for Bitcoin, starting in 2024. Thanks, and enjoy the video.
We had the largest monthly increase in dollar terms of almost $20,000 in 1 month. And more importantly, it's above or at the stock-to-flow model line right now. But always after the price has been below the model, it has gone above the model and far above the model sometimes. So that's what I'm hoping for. In fact, that's what I'm expecting, that we're going to break the stock-to-flow model on the upside after the halving. And well, we have 2 more dots to go. 2 more blue dots until the halving, a March dot and an April dot. What's next? Yeah, well, I think if you look historically, after the halving, the price went up, but with a little bit of a delay. And I expect that as well in 2024. So we will have price rises, we will have a bull market, but I don't expect a top in this year. In 2024, I expect the top to be in 2025. Also note the log scale on this chart. The prices go 10x every time, from $1 to $10, $100, $1,000. Next chart. This is the chart that got very much attention on Twitter. I think it's one of my 2 favorite charts next to the sector flow chart. Big news here. Red dot. So what we see in this chart is the stock to flow price, again on a logarithmic scale. And the colors, note the color axis is different right now. It's not the months until the next halving, it's the phase. So it can be the accumulation phase, blue, we've been there. It can be the bull market, can be distribution, can be bear market. So we see a phase switch change right now. And we go from the accumulation phase, which is over right now. There's no more steady growth, easy buying, etc. No, we go to the bull market. So there will be face-melting FOMO, extreme price pumps.
PlanB is not predicting a free ride for Bitcoin throughout the bull market. He expects both the huge upside rallies and the 30% drawdowns, but cautions investors to be patient through it all to enjoy the full benefits of what's coming. During the video, the anonymous analyst also compares this cycle to the previous one, explaining that we didn't get the parabolic blow-off top in 2021 because of China's mining ban. PlanB expects a different scenario next year, especially because of the unprecedented demand from the ETFs. He also predicts that before the bull market ends, other categories of investors, including sovereign wealth funds and nation-states, will be buying Bitcoin in massive amounts. As bullish as PlanB is, MicroStrategy Executive Chairman Michael Saylor is even more bullish. The renowned billionaire executive and big Bitcoin bull recently attended the Bitcoin Atlantis conference in Madeira, where he gave a rousing keynote speech and a massively bullish fireside chat. According to Michael Saylor, 2024 is a very important and pivotal year for Bitcoin because it's not just another halving year and bull market, but the beginning of a 10-year gold rush that will see unprecedented demand for the leading cryptocurrency by all categories of investors across the globe. Here are some clips from the fireside chat.
If we're talking about the future of Bitcoin, I think that we're in the Bitcoin gold rush era. And it started in January of 2024, and it will run till about November of 2034. It's a 10-year. It's an important date, you know. If you pull Clark Moody's dashboard, you'll see that. In November of 2034, 99% of all the Bitcoin will have been mined. And the last 1% comes out over the next 100 years. For all practical purposes, stock to flow becomes irrelevant. The stock to flow ratio of Bitcoin is infinity in 2034. It's within the tolerance of just random hourly trading of the asset. So it becomes noise. And so you have about 42 quarters, somewhere between 40 and 42 quarters. And if you look at that 40-quarter period, at the beginning of the gold rush, no bank could custody Bitcoin, no institutional investor could buy Bitcoin, no Wall Street trading firm, no investment company could handle Bitcoin, and it was unclear whether that ever would happen. That was a binary. And when those spot ETFs were approved, that created a fire or an avalanche. The genie's out of the bottle. It doesn't matter who's elected president next. It doesn't matter who's the next head of the SEC. It doesn't matter. No politician's opinion, no banker opinion, no regulator opinion matters after that date. That was the most consequential thing that kicked off the gold rush. Every single institutional investor would have looked at this and said, Bitcoin interesting, but I can't buy it. Everybody. And so you have 99% of the money in the world that has been unable to buy and so unwilling to consider things. Institutional investors are like this. Like they could watch your company and like have a million opinions but don't really care. And you could go to them on a Tuesday morning and say, do you want to buy $50 million worth of this security? And they'll then look at it and they'll give you an answer by 4 p.m. So when they can buy via their bank, their institutional wirehouse, their prime broker, they will make a $50 million decision in 1 hour. And they will watch you and cheer for you or laugh at you for 20 years when they can't buy. So we flipped a switch in January. What you've got is 40 quarters of people getting educated, and here's what happens next. All those ETFs, they're only distributed through 20% of the distribution channel right now. They're maybe even 10%. So that distribution is going to go from 10% to 20 to 40 to 60 to 80, and there'll be a point at which all the investors can buy.
As a business executive and former CEO, Saylor has always been big on loans. In March 2022, a subsidiary of his Bitcoin development firm executed a $205 million loan using its Bitcoin holdings as collateral. According to reports, The loan had been used to purchase more Bitcoin, cover fees related to loan transactions, and take care of general corporate costs. In many of his previous interviews, Saylor had discussed the importance of being able to secure loans with one's Bitcoin holdings as collateral. The MicroStrategy boss believes this strategy will help investors hold firmly to their Bitcoin forever, even when they have urgent needs. During his fireside chat at Bitcoin Atlantis, Saylor discussed another upcoming bullish phase for the Bitcoin ETFs, a phase that marks the final acceptance of Bitcoin by banks, which would allow them to offer loans to holders of Bitcoin ETFs. Let's get back to the interview.
Then the next question is, well, is it creditworthy? Can I borrow against the asset? No major bank in the world will give you a loan against those ETFs yet. They've all got clocks that are running after 30 days, after 90 days, after 6 months, after a year. So first they let you buy it, then they loan you money against it. None of those instruments can you trade options on. You can't buy or sell puts and calls on a spot ETF. That'll be a year. So what you're going to see is it'll take years for the distribution to open up, for the credit capillaries to work, for the volatility trading to kick in, for the hedging to kick in. Then you'll actually see all the big banks that don't like Bitcoin getting pressured. Like, now we have to custody it because our biggest customer wants us to. So right now you can't custody, but there's a big battle afoot on Capitol Hill. That battle will take place. Bitcoin will win that battle. Then you'll see banks custody, then you'll see 1, then you'll see 10, then you'll see 100, then you'll see 1,000. And likewise, there's famous analysts. You can name the analysts that cover Bitcoin today. Len Alden, Chris Kuiper, right? Yassine, right? There'll be a day when there'll be 200. You won't be able to name them all, right? There'll be a day when Bitcoin ETFs have already blasted past gold, and then Bitcoin ETFs trade more than the S&P index ETFs. And there'll be a day, I believe, when Bitcoin ETFs will have more capital than SPY or the S&P index. And on that day, the people at Vanguard will say, oops, I guess all the money just shifted out of equity. But that day won't come tomorrow. It'll take many, many quarters. And by the time we get to 2034, I think you can say the high growth institutional adoption phase of Bitcoin has now moved to just the growth phase.
PlanB and Michael Saylor are ultra bullish on Bitcoin, which is currently trading above $65,000 for the first time in over 2 years. As PlanB notes in one of his recent tweets, we might never see Bitcoin get back below $40,000 again forever, especially if the top is as bullish as PlanB predicts. His prediction is that Bitcoin will hit at least $500,000 before the end of 2025. While Saylor has not given exact figures like PlanB, he is also expecting Bitcoin to finish the year much higher and climb even higher in 2025. What are your thoughts on PlanB's and Michael Saylor's predictions for Bitcoin? Do you think Bitcoin will hit 6 figures in 2024? Please drop your comments and observations in the comments section below. Also, ensure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.